Welcome to INN CEO Talks. Joining me today is Morgan Lekstrom, the president and CEO of Silver HAMR Mining. Silver HAMR Mining is a junior mining company advancing the past-producing Silver Strand mine in the Coeur d'Alene mining district in Idaho. As well, the company has two other projects, the Eliza Silver Project and the Silverton Silver Mine, both in one of the world's most prolific mining jurisdictions in Nevada. Morgan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again. Pleasure to be here.
Great to see you. I was reading that you just completed a financing of $3 million. Investors are, of course, asking, how are you going to put those funds to work?
Yeah, I'd like to mention too, it was an oversubscribed financing in these markets. I think that's a good vouch of our projects and our team and all the people in the background that worked very hard to get this done. So, I'm very thankful to the folks at Echelon and all the other folks in the background. But to answer your question, we're going to drill and we're going to start expanding our geological understanding of all three of our projects. We prepaid some of our drilling at Silver Strand in Idaho. That's our flagship mine. And we started doing a lot of work at the Eliza and Silverton projects in Nevada. Now having this money will allow us to run concurrent process by not only drilling in Idaho, but also starting to look at how we're going to drill and how we're going to expand those projects in Nevada. Being Silverton, we're permitted to drill, and Eliza, we're currently working on that and expect that in short order. This $3 million will really make it the year for us. I mean, we have a low cost, low impact method of drilling, so we can do a lot of value added work on these projects in a short order with this money, and still have some at the end. That's for sure.
For those who have not seen our previous interviews, bring them up a little bit to speed about the Silver Strand project in Idaho. I was fascinated when you told me the history of it and where you're at right now.
Yeah, it's such an interesting area. So, when you look at a project, you look at the area too. And one of the things about Silver Strand, it's in the Coeur d'Alene area in Idaho. And that's the area where Lucky Friday and Galena, these mines that started companies like Hecla and Coeur, those monster mining companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, are in the same rocks, same jurisdictional area, same kind of silver belt. And the Silver Strand mine was only ever mined to 90 meters, and they mined vertically. So they actually never went down. All these monster mines in the area go down 1,800 plus meters. That is 1.8 plus kilometers. And they have never touched below the mine. So we not only were able to look at going down dip on the current ore there on the resource we're looking at. Not only are we able to start drilling that, and what I have to preface is there's no resource on it yet. We're just looking at the mineralization below what was existing, but we picked up the whole 5.5 kilometer land package along the strike, and that had never been done before. So we're off something called the Osborne Fault, and then off the Burnt Cabin Fault. And that is off the Osborne Fault is what all these other monster mines are off of. So realistically, we're going to start going down. We're going to start drilling down to 250 meters and start drilling all the surface targets we developed last year that showed gold and silver. So we expect this to be a pretty punchy year for us at Silver Strand.
Any idea, and I know it's early days because we're just getting into drilling season, but when do you think that we might start to see some of the results? First of all, coming out of Idaho, and then let's go to your properties in Nevada and discuss, where you're at, both with Eliza and Silverton.
Yeah, I plan on keeping a pretty steady news flow coming out of all three of the projects. We're going to do a lot of concurrent work with geophysics and some more boots on the ground understanding. But as we get into Silver Strand, this is going to happen. I'm hoping this month we'll be getting in there and drilling. Where, we have the drills lined up. We have everything ready to go. We didn't waste any time. Like I said, we prepaid a bunch of the drilling, which allowed us to actually get a foothold with the drilling company and get a drill ready, queued up, ready to go. So the timing almost worked lock and step. They phoned me today and they said they're ready to go, and we are. So I'm going to fly down there, and our geologist is going to fly down there here in the short order, and we'll start drilling at Silver Strand in the underground, and then we'll transition that to the surface. And as we're understanding Eliza and Silverton more in Nevada, we'll start to plan drilling programs on there, with Eliza having that high-grade silver potential, but also having that high-grade copper potential, high-grade lead, high-grade zinc, some gold. there is something really interesting going on there, and we're gonna get down there and look at how we're gonna drill that in the very short term. Probably Q2, Q3, Q4. I mean, I know it's a broad range, but again, we want to make sure we have a lot of very positive results coming out in the near future.
Well, and I think it's important to remember that the minerals that you are exploring for and then confirming a resource are all of those essential elements that are going to be required in the green economy. And looking at how, especially in transportation, the need for all of these essential elements is going to continue to rise. It looks like good timing for each of those commodities, does it not?
Yeah, the macro situation is really interesting when you look at this green revolution and how people have always used gold and silver as a hedge. Well, we've talked about this before. I don't think, and a lot of people don't think because it's true, the situation with silver is quite different. It's becoming very similar to copper in a sense that 50% of the industrial use is, or 50% of the use is industrial, not just silverware and hedging. So as that increases, as China starts developing and building more solar panels that are more efficient, I credit Chen Lin. He's done a lot of research on this and shows that the amount of silver in the solar panels actually goes double to create more efficiency in the panel. Well, hey, where's that coming from? I'd love it to come from a United States or Canada-based source. That's why we're exploring in Western United States right now. That's why we're trying to build a leading silver mining company, because we see the future. And not only do we have that silver, we have potential for copper now. We have gold in one of our assets. So we're really well hedged, I would say, to meet this demand in the future.
So you touched on an interesting point there. You said build a silver mining company. Is that the long-term objective? You're going to build this out and then operate it?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a mine builder in the background. I've worked on many mine builds in the world, and with Freeport in Indonesia, I spent a number of years at Togo in Mongolia. I spent time building a mine in Africa. Kind of consulted all over the world. So yeah. It's a unique aspect with Silver Hammer. We have that large exploration payoff potential, but we also have that near-term-ish production potential, and in mining, near-term is 5 years. So we have that, and I have that ability to run concurrent process because I've been involved with this before. So I know the right people to pull on know when to get right people involved. And so we are looking at it from all different facets. So we call it a triple-pronged approach.
Well, and your enthusiasm is a result of knowing what you're looking at and what the potential and how to build it out. So it's you bring to this project that kind of experience. What's the most important thing that you want investors to take away from this interview?
We're cashed up. We have drill permits in place. We've got a drill contractor that's absolutely fantastic and is ready to go. We have 3 low risk, high potential projects in tier 1 jurisdictions. It's proven that they've been past producers right up into the 1800s, some of them, and haven't been gone back to. There's exponential growth potential for our company, and I want to unlock that this year.
Well, I'm guessing there's going to be a steady stream of news, and best place for people, of course, is to go to the Silver Hammer website to stay engaged and to get those updates. Morgan, thanks for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to updates in the future.
Thanks again. I really appreciate it.